Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of my Xpeng G6 ownership series. My name is Peter and today you find me in the dark because today's topic is lights. I think a vastly overlooked topic because let's say at least half the year you interact with your car in the dark. In the darker months of the year, obviously it's dark outside, so you need your headlights, your tail lights, your blinkers and so on the outside of the car. But also the lights on the inside of the car are, I think, really important. Not only basic things like screen brightness, for example, or the legibility of your displays, but also your ambient lights, your reading lights, the lights on the buttons, finding your way around in the cabin is something I think a lot of people don't test when they take a car out for a test drive. Because obviously, you know, you want to drive your car mostly during the day probably, and a test drive is going to be during the day. So this is something that I think is really important because it can really make or break the usability of a car and the fun you have while using a car if the light situation on the inside is poorly designed. Obviously the same goes for the lights on the outside of the car. When you have poor headlights, you have poor visibility, and it's also interesting for the people around you to see how the lights on your car interact. Now currently I have all the reading lights and displays on full brightness so you can actually see me. I'm going to put another camera up, have a look at the display so you can see what I am looking at. So this is the main display. I'm currently have everything on daytime settings, but there's a lot we can play with. So we're going to go to car and we're going to go to display to begin with. You can see that the touchscreen brightness is now almost halfway and the dashboard brightness as well. The dashboard obviously being the screen right in front of me that I can see through the steering wheel. So that's that, but down here you can already see that it has a day mode and a night mode. So I'm now going to put it on night mode and instantly everything is going to change. Now I'll turn the overhead lights off here. There you go. And now this makes a huge difference because now I'm looking at a very nice non-blinding set of displays that make sure that I can actually see in the dark. I can still obviously adjust the touchscreen brightness if I see fit, but obviously when you're driving in the dark you want at least amount of backlight as possible. You can put it in auto mode, then it switches by itself, adaptive night mode and so on. Font size you can change and a few other things. But that is basically what you're going to interact with in terms of brightness and screen color. If I pull up the quick display from the top, you can see that I can also adjust my screen brightness here and adjust the reading lights and the headlights as well. Then if we go a bit further and go to lights, here we have a few options for the main beams. They're currently off, but I can control them here. And I can also turn on the headlight when I accompany me home. So that's the headlight staying on as I lock the car. And I can change my ambient lights here. You can see the little space there. I have it set to purple at the moment and on a fixed brightness. You can also have smooth breathing, then it sort of pulsates. Follow speed, so depending on how fast you're going, or the music rhythm. Well, personally I think that's nonsense. I have it just set like this. And I will show you how that looks like from my perspective. You can see the light strip over here. It's also in the door pockets. It is under the middle console here. And it's in the door pocket on this side obviously as well, and next to the steering wheel. So that is your view from the inside. And that actually looks quite nice. If I put this on the normal navigation, you can see that it is quite a nice, I think, setup this way. Obviously color preferences change, but for me this is quite nice. Alright, so I turned the inner lights back on and the screen on brightness again so you can actually see me. We're going to have a look at the outside lights now. So here on the screen I have a few options. So we're going to start with the flashlights going left and going right. Obviously pretty standard stuff, but it's nice with these cascading lights both in the front and the rear. I'll turn on the hazard lights as well actually, so you can actually see them both in action. Quite nice. I think that is very tastefully done, especially with these thin strips. Then the headlight control. Obviously now everything is off. I will start with the daytime running light. Again, I think that looks quite nice with those strips, the thin strips really accentuating the width of the car. Then we go to the main event. These are the main beams and you can see with the camera from the roof how much light you're getting. It's so much light, these modern LED bulbs. And that's also why the lights can be mounted so low in the bumper. The lights are so good and so powerful that they don't need to be mounted high up in the car anymore, giving more opportunities for design, but also just giving such a light carpet in front of you in the car. So that's really nice when you're driving. Obviously, automatic is where you have it in most of the time. I have it in intelligent high beam mode as well, so the car adjusts the main beam and the high beam, not to blind people coming the other way, but still giving me maximum visibility. And I think it's such a nice view out here, so that's really great. But like I said, most of the time you'll put it in automatic, and if you want to adjust how high or how low your beam is, you even have those settings here: low 3, mid low, mid high, and high. I have it on high all the time because I want maximum forward visibility. And that's really all I have for you in this video from the dark in my Xpeng G6. I think the light situation overall is very nice. The ambient light I think is tastefully done. There's barely any buttons in this car, so the number of buttons they have to illuminate is very minimal, and the only light is what you're getting from the screen really. I think it's quite nice that the screen can be dimmed to such a way that it's almost completely dark here in the cabin, not blinding me as the driver and giving me maximum visibility outside. The only thing I don't like is the brake lights in the rear, because those are also mounted very low in the bumper. I would have preferred that to be slightly higher, but I think overall it looks quite nice on the outside as well here on the inside. But especially the fact that it's dark in here, that there's not so much light shining on my eyes, even with the big screen, is quite good. And even if the screen's too bright for you, you can just turn it off completely. So that is also a nice option. And that's really all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a sub to the channel if you want to see more of my Xpeng G6 ownership videos. And of course, all the other videos that we make for you here on Autogefuel. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.